Well, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, and how are you, honey?
We're happy spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, right?
Oh, yes. And also, is today a solar eclipse or is that
No, tomorrow morning on your west coast at 10:23 in the morning is a new moon at
Mhm.
0 degrees Aries.
Oh,
And
wow,
so,
0 degrees.
yeah, it's very intense. There's like 5 planets in the sign of Aries.
So there's a bunch of new beginnings that are going
Yes, a
to
lot
be
of fire,
oh,
a lot of
more roll.
impulsive fire ramming through things.
No, that could explain why I'm feeling hot.
Yes, you could be.
Yeah, I was like, I'm thirsty.
Yes. Yes.
So, as people are coming through, I would like to go ahead and ring the meditation singing bowl to clear our energies, and then we can get started.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, oh, I just heard myself echo a little bit. Um, okay. Well,
I
what
don't
do you
hear
think?
it.
I heard it for like a second.
Oh,
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So tell us a little bit more about this new moon.
well, thank you. And hope everybody's doing well. It's definitely Aries is the pioneer. So it's a time to start new things. A new moon at 0 degrees is an anaretic degree. Those are very significant in astrology. So everything that you know about Aries, which is it's represented by the ram, which kind of signifies a hard headed, compulsive types of nature. Aries is the first sign of the natural zodiac. So we're in the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. For astrology, it's the beginning of the year. So it's about new beginnings, it represents the children of the zodiac. So if you know people with a lot of Aries in their chart, they are ageless. They are always like children. They never really grow up and they don't age. It's really kind of mysterious.
Hmm.
I have two neighbors, a married couple, well into their 80s. They've been married 60 years. I've known them probably 50 years. And I can tell you that they always sound like children calling for each other. Like from the house to the yard, they out in the yard, they act like children and they haven't aged. They, might move a little slower, but in terms of all of their facial and um, it's just really weird. So Aries is a very uh, ruled by Mars. So Mars is the god of war. This is an energy where you could find yourself in a lot of debates, a lot of heated discussions. Um, you might end up in an argument with somebody out of the clear blue sky and not know what the heck just happened, that kind of
Hmm.
thing. You want to be leery of weird scams through the internet. Again, the internet's under a big focus right now with having Saturn moved into Pisces. And the last time Saturn was in Pisces was an explosion on the electronic highway. So we're going to see more and more of that kind of, you know, Pisces ruled by Neptune is illusion. So that's artificial intelligence. That's,
Hmm.
you and I could be sitting here and really be robots kind of energy, like they've made them looking really real.
Hmm.
Um, and, just within a few hours, I got a really weird text that was completely a scam, but started out looking legitimate. So it just triggered me to want to say that tonight that, you know, be um, mindful because fire cardinal energy with 5 planets in Aries you'd be responding very quickly. This would be, not thinking things through. It would be impulsive, um, impulsive shopping, impulsive buying, that kind of, you know, and so you want to really take a breath to double think. Um, Another example, you know how they feed marketing through your email? Hey, this is recommended for you. And, sometimes you blow by it. Sometimes you might have a few minutes and you want to look at whatever. Well, what are they recommending for me here?
Mhm.
And a good exercise over the next few weeks with all this Aries new beginning in spring sort of unfolding would be, think of it in your brain like ideas and things you're thinking about, have a shopping cart, right? And you just put those things in the cart. Don't push, process or, go to the next page, but just let them sit in the cart for a day. And then if you readdress it the following day, you may completely change your mind. You may realize that that was just an impulse idea, wasn't a good idea. Um, if you're thinking about reaching out to someone you haven't heard from in a long time, again, you might just want to, tap the brakes on this energy because um, it makes people do things without thinking. And we want to try to slow it down. It's we're going to have this natural momentum working on us. And as you've noticed in the news, um, earthquakes, um, volcanoes eruption. I mean, it's this manifestation physically as well that our earth is rumbling. It's shaking off old, and I think on a human wise, it works that as well. Like we're shaking off the old. It's time to come out of that winter hibernation, come out of that, concept that we've been holding on to and be open to something new. Um, it's about feeling inspired, inspirationally through like your spirit, because positive aspects with Neptune are all about our psychic faculty. So when we're fighting this Aries, hard-headed, ramming, compulsive things through without thinking, it's really a great time to exercise our psychic faculty. Like what does your first voice tell you? If you have a compulsive inclination, but then something in the back of your mind is saying, don't do that, do that. Stop and think about that. Honor whatever that quiet voice is telling you, because Aries and Mars are gonna, just try to drive you forward without even looking. Um, I had a dear friend who was very strong Aries in her chart. And I tell you what, she would just go off in a direction and not give it a second thought. And most of the time end up in some ridiculous situation, knowing that if she just slowed down to think it through. So that's what the message is here tonight, is just slow down, think through what you want to do. Feel inspired and use your spiritual tools like to journal and meditate. And prayer is very powerful about manifesting the things that you want, and not going with that childlike I wanna. Children are very I wanna, I need, want, need. Okay, that's very Aries. And so even people who are more earth energy and not as moved by that kind of fire, we have such a um, intense conglomeration of cardinal Aries energy right now. It's going to be a challenge for all of us to kind of tap the brakes, find the pace. Don't let it push you into directions that uh, you went against your instincts. So
Mhm.
that's a big
So
part of it.
can you explain what cardinal means?
So these are the the lead, these are elements in the zodiac with different signs, and it's the leaders in our society. So
Mhm.
they're very strong. They're not followers. So if you have a cardinal energy, it's you're the mover and the shaker. You're not the follower. So that would be Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer are the cardinal energies. They're considered elements of each sign. So you have
Mhm.
cardinal, fixed, and mutable. And it just describes more of what that energy is like. And um, people with cardinal energy, and especially Aries, they're the pioneers. I mean, they'll go out in the desert and, find the lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, they'll go where other people don't want to go. That's just their spirit and their nature.
Mhm.
So right now, it would be making a positive, what's called a trine, 120 degrees between the Leos of the zodiac and the Sagittarius. So
Mhm.
Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are the fire signs that this new moon would be making really positive aspects too. And that means inspiration and being very creative. Children are a big play here. Maybe you've been working on children's books or manuscripts, and this is a really great time for submitting it for publication. And then, so Libra is the opposition here. So if you have a lot of Libra energy, you might feel more stressed out, right? So, so it's just everybody's a little different in how they handle stress, how they're influenced by people around them, right? So mutable energies, um, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces are more influenced by people around them. They want to get along. They're like the peacemakers. They
So
want to,
they're more of the followers, but not
right.
necessarily.
And then what is remaining there is fixed is Leo, Taurus, um, Aquarius, and Scorpio. So they're, fixed energy is pretty, just like it says. It's like it's somewhat opinionated, somewhat I'm going to do it my way. We go my way or the highway. That, I mean, it's very hard to influence a fixed energy to feel a different way when they feel very strongly. It's not to say they don't, but
Mhm.
um, let's see. Um, what else is going on with this? So we've also we've got the new moon in the morning. Today we have the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere, and that is also holding hands with Mercury that's entering Aries. So what is Mercury is the way our mind communicates and functions. So that's, you might be racing with a lot of ideas. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm not terribly consistent about making lists. But in the last few days, I've really written down things because it's felt a little overwhelming about what needs to get done. And that could be something as simple as don't forget to buy dog food. It's just lots of tasks. Don't forget to check on that bill that, the statement was wrong and I need to call them. Or,
Mhm.
um,
No, I've had those lists daily.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot. Mercury in Aries is the synapses firing very quickly in our brain. So you've got the physiological responses to the energy, and then you have the three-dimensional what's going on in our world,
Mhm.
right? So we're trying to function and process how our energy feels about five planets in Aries. And then on the exterior, the earth is shaking, right? There's been a couple of big volcanoes erupt. There's been several like 6.8 and very, very strong earthquakes. Um, with earthquakes and volcanoes comes flooding and tsunamis. So it's really interesting how the earth and Mother Nature can reflect the planetary status and of relationships between planets as well. It's really, sometimes I think it's almost also reflecting what's going on inside a person. You know, like you might feel erupted, you might feel disrupted, you might feel angry over something that maybe you could roll off before. That's a very typical interpretation of this lunation, would be things that you normally let roll off your back that don't
Hmm.
bother you. Under this energy, it gets under your skin. You're going to be pissed off about it.
Yeah, I was feeling that earlier today.
I have, and I've been around a lot of people expressing it that way. Like, normally that doesn't bother me. Normally that person doesn't bother me. Like, but right now I could just rip their throat out. I have a coworker who's trying to take care of a father going into the early stages of Alzheimer's. So it's
Mm,
that transition between being the child and having the parent, and then the parent becomes the child and the child becomes the caregiver.
right.
And so, the very positive way to do this energy is to get creative. Even if you don't consider yourself a creative person, this is the time to meditate on if you were Van Gogh in another lifetime, or some great architecture or architect. What is it you would create? Um, this is to really, let yourself express that inner anger or inner rage at something in a positive way. I know in times past, I can get the hell out of a weeds pulled by channeling anger, right? So, you might be angry at a person or a situation, but if you can channel it towards scrubbing your bathroom tile, you
Here's a neat little trick that I learned today. Alka-Seltzer.
okay.
Yeah, like you just put a couple drops in whatever, the commode, the
Okay.
bathroom sink, or and just let it like fizz up, and then like you scrub it a little bit and it is crystal clear. And I'm like,
Well, I
wow.
need to try that
Yeah, I was like, I thought it was only good for dentures.
for a stomach ache.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. So I learned that today.
So, have you been making another really great way to do this? Have you been making your bath bombs? Because this is a really great energy for, you know, taking some kind of herbal remedy to relax and handle the stress.
So, in the past week, I've been thinking about creating um, like a new moon and a full moon set.
Yeah.
So, it would to include like a candle, a bath bomb, and even some spray or something like that for the new moon and the full moon. And I just haven't had the energy because, like you said, the synapses are coming off,
Yeah.
the pistons are going, and
Right.
um, I have too much that's going on right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have thought about it.
And
Mhm.
so writing it down and embellishing it helps manifest it, right? Any of those ideas we have that are like new inventions, Aries is very much about new inventions and doing things a new way. Even like taking a different route somewhere that you go every day to, your home or office or a store or school, like just take a different route. And this is kind of doing the energy before it does you. That's what my old astrology teacher used to say is, a fool follows the stars, a king rules his stars. So knowing what is going on planetarily and how we can best channel that energy in a positive way instead of becoming sort of like flailed upon the tides of fire and Mars out there going, nuts. Now, Mars is getting ready to, Mars is an interesting story astrologically right now because we've had it in Gemini since the end of last summer. And that's been very flaky, like that's a very passive aggressive kind of energy.
Mhm.
Well, by the 28th this month, we're going to have Mars changing signs into Cancer. So,
Oh, so how is
yes.
that?
So
Like,
that's going to bring out complaints, the complaint department. You know,
goddamn.
you're you're
Like,
you're going to have customer service lines overflowing with complaints because cancers are kind of known for whining and complaining, and so then you've got the energy that's all about arguing, meeting up with the chronic complainer, and
mhm.
so just recognize that it can that's typical crankiness.
So
And
where's all this energy leading up to? So you said that there's 5 planets that
yes,
is going into Aries. Like, which planets are they?
that
And
is,
then
let me get my article in front of me. Let's see. So we have, let's see, Aries. Okay. So the new moon in Aries, Mercury, Jupiter, Eris, which is an asteroid, Chiron, and Vesta, which is an asteroid. So Eris is very much Martian, kind of a fired up, erotic energy. And
mhm,
Vesta is more of the Virgoian, earthy kind of keeping the home hearth warm energy. So
mhm.
you might find yourself renovating at home. This would be an energy where you decide to tear a wall down between rooms or strip some wallpaper or move your furniture around. So a lot of movement. This is not the kind of energy that's sedentary where you just kind of
Sit back and watch things go
yeah
by.
and take in the sunset, right? This is more about we're into spring. We've come out of a cold, long, dark winter, right? So
Mhm,
we have more light coming in on us physically, and that brings creativity, it brings action, it brings making decisions. So where you've been maybe pondering ideas, whether it was an idea to move or an idea to change where you live, like change within the walls, right? Whether it be changing rooms around or painting or doing things that change your environment.
mhm.
um, the um, the key is to again use that discernment because it's an energy that can be very compulsive. You want to slow down on the road. I mean, just technically speaking, this is an energy that is prime for road rage. So you
Oh,
want to
yeah,
be
I had that this weekend. I was just coasting into my little exit, and somebody had the balls to just go, like, past me
three
on
lanes
the left
over.
lane and then, like, cut me off, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I was like, okay." That was close, though. They almost clipped me.
We do have, when we come into April, when you're talking about what is coming up around, let's see, where are we now? We're on the 20th. So it's about 30 days from now, we start into an eclipse season.
Mhm,
So in April 19th, we have a solar eclipse. And then we have, through the end of May, we have three eclipses between the middle of April and the end of May. So I call that like eclipse season.
mhm.
Well, and the other thing I wanted to back up and just finish this thought is when I give you these dates, like March 28th, Mars goes into Cancer. That doesn't mean that March 28th, you're going to have any like feeling necessarily. These are all ongoingly ebbing and flowing around us. And depending on how we respond to different energies, it's all like a fingerprint, right? It's very individual.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
The
get a reading with
point,
Connie.
well, and the point is that the pressure in the atmosphere is building. It is building momentum
Mhm.
towards eclipses. Eclipses change things. So that can be on a personal level in your life with your home, family, work, residence, might buy a new car, things like that. I saw a report where now cars are more available and prices coming down. Um, but my point is, be very respectful of your feelings and what you've been through and what
Mhm.
you need, not what you think everybody around you wants you to do, and you can't go wrong. If you follow your own intuition and discernment, you can't go wrong. It's
Mhm.
always when we're like, Aries energy is this. So I think I've seen this storyline in a lot of movies over the years. So you've got the street gang, right? And the people that always looking for trouble, always want a drama in their life, always
Picking a
just
fight.
going the wrong way, right?
Mhm.
And so you've got one of these individuals that's broken free, they've changed their path, they're cleaning their life off up, they've gotten off of drinking and drugging, and they just want a fresh start, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they're on their path and they've made positive change and their life is reflecting it. They're getting stability financially, they're meeting nicer, kinder people to be around. And here drives by down the road that carload of old buddies, right? The old buddies that used to always get you in trouble. And they're bullying that person and, oh, come on, oh, come on. And, it's that strength to say, I'm doing what I need to do for me. But quite often people go, oh, it won't hurt to go have one drink, right? And so you climb in the car and you go off to, someplace you better off not going. And then you end up in some kind of a fight and getting arrested. I mean, that's a sort of a dramatic explanation, but that is the energy we're in. It's carve out your creative essence, right?
Mhm.
And so, and know, listen to that part of you that knows when you should or should not be with a certain group of people. Say you're in a very toxic situation with an office or work. These are the times to put into action finding the environment that's healthy for you, because none of us have enough life left, enough time in life to waste being in toxic situations. And, you know,
I'm
people
sorry.
love to be martyrs, and Mars moving into Cancer is the martyr.
Mhm.
This is, uh, you know, the daughter taking care of the father, and when there's plenty of resources out there to help, but no, I'm going to, hard-headed Aries, I'm going to do it my way, right? And being given opportunities to get help and to delegate some of that responsibility, but rather sit here and bitch about it. So
Mhm.
that's what I mean about, be careful that you're not being the martyr, because a lot of headstrong cardinal types of energy refuses to take help. And I think that on so many levels, with um, our changes in the signs, with Pluto going into Aquarius, becoming more humanitarian, Saturn going into Pisces, a softer, gentler Saturn after years of Capricorn. This is about learning to allow people to help you. You know, don't be so prideful, which Aries has a way of being headstrong and prideful,
Mhm.
that you think you're above needing help or taking help. This is, another typical explanation would be being in denial about having an addiction problem. Like, um, you know, somebody drinks a six pack every night, but they're not an alcoholic.
It's just like water. What are you talking about?
It's an interesting time. And if you want to think about mundane astrology and the astrology of countries, in history, this is the sort of same energy we had when France went into their big revolution to become a republic. So this can change how countries are governed. This can change our monetary system. You know, we've all been watching digital currency and the stock market tank. These are the eruptions of old foundations that no longer serve, right? We're finding new innovative ways. Some of the predictions over the years have been that, you know, there's a period we'll be bartering services again, you know, like while the currency may reset, um, in the meantime, you need to have your food and goods and things you need. So you might barter like in old times. I was talking to somebody about some real estate deal recently, and a lot of it hinged on a lot of these big public municipal bridges and tunnels and things like infrastructure built within cities are built by bonds, right? Where investors get together and they decide on a project and they put out on the market um, bonds. They're not money, it's strictly paper. That's kind of suspect right there, but that's how in America we have functioned for a couple of hundred years. And that's all, I think, becoming somewhat transparent that it is not backed by anything. It is just
Wasn't
paper.
there a thing about the banks like not being zeroed out where
Right, like not insured by the
the FDIC?
FDIC, and you know the Silicon Valley Bank, those depositors, you had to have at least $225,000 to even have an account there.
Mhm.
So I think it's very interesting. You know, there's been a trend for way too long, for decades, of eliminating the middle class. You know, just the hardworking individual that wants to, you know, have the basic home health and peace in life, right? And so we've had this overgrowth of a tyrannical style of governing, and that's imploding, and that's a good thing. And I know that it scares a lot of people to think about that, but if we get out of our head for what we've been programmed to believe and be open to a kinder, gentler humanity, you know, where we're all here to kind of help each other, you know, like, you know, how the Amish are, like they all get together and they build a barn together. You know, it's that mentality of coming together to help build. It's not a looking at a large conglomerate that keeps their boot on your throat. And so the predictions are like, we'll need to learn how to self govern. And I noticed that there seems to be some fear with people in general about, well, what if that government office closes? Or, you know, there's already many branches of, you know, like the Social Security office where you live, where there used to be several offices, you might be lucky to have two. Um, I think a lot of us have wondered, when we get ready for Social Security, will it even be there? You know, you've paid into a system your whole working life. Will it even be there?
Mhm.
And isn't that kind of a Ponzi scheme, you know, where you
Yeah,
have money
right.
and somebody else is spending it and and it's gone from you. So all of these
Tax what?
financial systems are under a huge transformation. And
Mhm.
my message to everyone who is in earshot would hear this is do not be afraid. Rejoice. Be excited about Aries, the new pioneering way uh, to express your own creativity, to help on your local community basis, because this concept of everything being out here and done for us, and you just take for granted that your trash gets picked up, or it's just a whole change of society and social mores, which is Pluto, right? And Pluto's changing signs. And so that's very exciting. But, a lot of times fear, change brings fear to people, and fears change. But the only thing permanent in our lives is change. So the more we can
Adapt.
adapt, that's a great word for it, because that cardinal energy has a hard time adapting.
Mhm.
So a cardinal fire lunation with all this stuff built up in Aries is, it's very hard to see change and to go with the flow. But it's all for the greater good. We've all been repressed and depressed way too long. We've accepted things that we should have never had to accept, as far as the quality of our lives, the quality of our water, the quality of our food. There's a lot of projects coming up about cleaning up food, getting rid of the artificial hormones, getting rid of shooting up our, um,
I think that's gonna take a long time.
yeah, it started and it will take a long time, but we
Like,
have to,
they started doing that stuff when I was, like, a teenager from what I can remember, where
yeah.
they were having hazmat suits out in the cornfield blowing stuff in the you
I
know?
mean, really, in the planes over top,
Yeah. There's
um,
always constantly
dropping
chemicals
stuff that we
being
don't know what it was.
yeah.
And so then we also have the new moon today, and then I said Mercury's enters Aries, so that's again that creative, very fast thinking. On the 24th is when, that's Friday, I believe, is when Pluto technically enters Aquarius, but we've already been feeling it. That's the whole artificial intelligence movement. That's there's been a lot of strange stories lately about how to, I don't know if the word is retrain, re-educate, but help people who have been replaced by a robot in their job
Mhm.
be retrained for what they're going to do, because their jobs have been taken over electronically. I don't know.
This is the thing that that I by chance I came across. So me and my son, we were talking about art and AI, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, because my son is a 3D animator," and I said, "Well, let me check out this program and see if they could render out, a 3D graphic." And so I was in queue to put in like X, Y, and Z graphic, and then the server was like, "Sorry, due to the capacity, yeah, we're not able to render out this graphic at this time." I said, see, this is the downfall with AI. If
Right.
there is no server, there
Right.
is no AI intelligence. So what are the components that creates the AI? You have to have electricity, you have to have energy, and you also have to have like server technology to create these AI things, especially if it's like through internet based, situation.
So maybe one of the Aries debates is going to be just this. Is AI really something we want replacing the human touch?
No, Because, like, for my son, it takes forever to come up with that. And then if AI can do it in a matter of X, Y, and Z, like seconds, then what is the quality? So it
You
goes
know,
with quality versus quantity, you
you're
know.
hitting on exactly where we are in humanity,
Mhm.
is this discussion. Where is the human touch? Where is the organic inspiration of the human spirit? So we've kind of been in a trajectory for decades of the electronic highway and making things quicker, better, cheaper.
Mhm.
So do you think maybe we've hit a wall and we're starting to, as a
It
society,
it's going too
reflect?
fast. It's going to backlash.
So Pluto is, you know, it's the god of the underworld. It is the life, death, life cycle in all things. So it affects our social mores. What do
Mhm.
we think is moral in society? So we've come full circle from a very Victorian, uptight, closed down society to nothing's left to the imagination. If you want an AI lover, by God, you can go out there and buy an AI lover, right? Nothing's sacred. Everything's
It's just
just,
a piece of plastic, you know?
you know, and so, I think it's kind of refreshing to think that maybe all these cheerleaders that thought this was the greatest thing to do all these video and virtual reality types of technologies, maybe there's something missing, because nothing can replace the human spirit. They can
Mhm.
make AI intelligent and talk and replicate and imitate, but
So and
nothing
that was I think
replaces.
that was, like, one of the discussions because it would be a synthetic
Right.
soul, you know what I
Aura.
mean?
Right.
Because I think, I was watching, someone talk about this, and, it's like humans can create other beings, and, how can these beings become sentient? And, is it a thing? Yeah, it is a thing, but, like, the soul is just a fragment. It's not like a organic complete soul. Yes, it has, like, this energy, but it's only like just a slice. It's.
It's so funny how, um, what I kind of feel like we might be experiencing is all these decades of thinking that things were fantasy, like in movies.
No, because thoughts become reality.
Right, that actually it was right in our face that the Matrix really is what it is. That's not a movie, that we really have been manipulated,
What kind of pill did we take?
you know. And I don't know if anybody else out there, maybe people in the chat will let us know, but there's been a lot of interruptions in electronics, whether it be computer connections, cell phone connections, cable television. There just seems to be, have been for a while, I'd say the last year or so, interruptions in service,
Mhm.
rolling brownouts with electricity. So I do think we see some physical symptoms of things changing, of things um, not staying the same or going in the same direction. And I know I said this last time, but it just really blows my mind. And I just feel like I want to say it again. In between 1993 and 1996 was the last time that Saturn was in Pisces. And if you look back at those years in the mid 90s, that's when we had an explosion in the internet, the electronic highway, I think is what it was originally called. We had Amazon got started, Intel Pentiums the processors were developed. Um, But we also had the Senate form a study committee on the effect of violence in video games on young minds. And I just really think that having our children raised on video has come to show us something that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't give children the social connections. Uh, it seems like a lot of youth are somewhat unemotional or question what mores are.
Mhm.
Um, there's been a lot of like artificial intelligence teaching young minds and not necessarily positive things.
Oh yeah, I mean that's because like also with Instagram and having like the filters, that you could apply to your aesthetics, most of it kind of looks plastic or fake, and um, everything is geared towards, just like a perception of what beauty may be, and if you don't look a certain way, then you know, it's like how far will somebody go to modify their body, to look that way, or to do any kind of manipulation, for the sake of feeling accepted. And this is mostly through social media
Right,
or through like electronic
right,
devices. So and I think we were talking about like when we were growing up back in the day, we didn't have video games. We went outside and we were cutting up and doing stuff out in person, and like through technology it has really changed very fast
I
throughout our
saw an interesting thing yesterday. It was an episode of one of, I forget the name of the series, but it's set in Miami. It's a forensic show, CSI. Okay.
Mhm,
So it was about a group of college kids that were obsessed with this one particular video game and they were playing it out in person. And the game was robbing a bank, shooting up a police station. There were like several levels, how you compete to get to certain levels.
mhm.
And it was their game to bring that video game into reality. And the root of the mystery or the case they were trying to solve was the president of the video game manufacturer paid these guys to do this to give him what he called a market edge. So, I think it's interesting we're having this discussion because these are the discussions this energy brings about and the eclipses bring about. That for uh, for 3 decades at least, there's been a huge part of our society fully engaged and completely supportive of social media platforms. Right? It's where
I
it's all
really have a big, um, I guess, like this perception that perception is everything.
right,
Everything that we see is really affecting our decision making, because without the visual, then we
right,
don't really think about it. But if we can just sit and like let's just say do meditation,
right.
we can do all of this on our own
Correct.
without getting like outside influence, but that's what it is. It's being influenced by the visual context of X, Y, and Z. Hence,
Right.
there's the programming that is going
And
on.
this is the discussion. So if you want to know what 5 planets in Aries coming into eclipse season for spring of 2023 and major outer planets making sign changes, we are having the discussion. And that is the influence of electronically based things ruling our life. and the discussion about, does that help society? How has that affected? Um, there's another study out there about how, people aren't having children. So there's like this, like when you look decades down the road, there aren't enough people to currently pay into the system to sustain the system we've built, right? So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
there was a study on that I actually overheard too. It
Yeah,
was about, women these days, they're just not interested in having a child because economically, it's just not sustainable, especially in today's economy.
right,
So and also for the man, they're not really filling their role as a male figure because they're not really producing kids.
right.
So how does that make them feel? And so it's like a little conundrum here, you know?
It's an
Um,
interesting period of our history, and the pretty much nature cycles repeat themselves. History repeats itself. So it's not until the majority of people see the problem that anything can affect a change, right? You know
mhm.
that if you have most people thinking that this is, yeah, the way to go, this is the way to do it, the way to go, then the minority of people are probably just going to hunker down, keep their mouth shut, try to navigate the best they can. But I think where we are at in the changes of outer planets changing signs, because those are generational changes and they take a long time, and we're shifting, is maybe the majority of people decide, I don't like where society has come at this point. I don't like the violence. I don't like how kids are numb to creativity. They've taken money out of the arts and out of sports and out of, um, what do you call it? The hard skills, like the tech schools,
I think core, you like a core
like the
curriculum.
electricians, the plumbers, the mechanics, you
Mhm.
know, um, basic
Like
common sense.
regular vocational skills like,
But
they
yeah,
would get and,
or just like sewing,
mhm.
accounting, teaching kids how to keep a checkbook, or, you know, um,
Yeah, and that's another thing in the education system. I think there are some people that are arguing the fact that they've replaced some of the curriculum that they deemed was really important. But it's like, what are they really teaching the kids? Because whatever that was being taught to my children is really different than how I received education in my day.
me too.
So, yeah, so I'm not exactly sure where things are changing or what they deem is really important.
It's like desensitize.
It
It's
really is.
like,
It's like a scrubbing of information of
right.
who says is what is necessary or what not. But I mean, like for
So
me
that there can
personally,
be robots hooked up, manufacturing the needs that, what is it, supply and demand,
mhm.
getting paid a paycheck for the taxes to come out, and you don't question it. You just keep on producing. And there's just a very narrow perspective of what your function in life is. It's
Is
taken
that
away.
isn't that like communism? Like
It's that movie 1984, right? It was the predictions of that movie in 1984. And it's the whole fear mongering, it's the whole, um, let us take care of you. And there's all kinds of history about, oh,
I actually saw that in the museum here locally in the Tacoma Historical Museum, where there
oh,
was a bunch of posters like, join the army, we need you, like to do like the factory type jobs.
right.
I think this was more or less like the women that were left behind,
Yeah, right.
and and then there was like not enough soldiers, I think. It was just a
And,
weird time.
and then, we can get really diabolical to think that the wars were just huge power manipulations
It does seem to be
to
that
tear
way.
apart
It
the
really
family.
feels more corporate based,
Right.
with an agenda of like, I don't know,
Whatever
stimulating the
they
economy. Like,
they talk about, the 13 primary families that the Bilderberg, right?
mhm,
Bilderberg, Germany, back in the 50s, where the wealthiest people met to determine what does the global economy need to meet their needs.
mm,
So, I mean, you can Google that. I don't think we should really get too
right.
pinned down on that, but you know, we're kind of going into an area that can be somewhat controversial,
Well, I think it
especially if
would be
it's real
math.
uncomfortable to you.
No, well, yeah, I just see, like, now it's like the, version, like, 2.0
Yeah.
of the past, but now it's like technology,
Well,
well.
now there are people living in tents on the streets, and water is contaminated, and people are seeing that what they took for granted as basic needs have become a challenge, and that's what gets people's attention. When you take for granted that you can go to your local grocery store and get everything you want, you don't question any of the background activity, right? Because you're just getting what you want. When you start having a hard time getting what you want, or your bank closes and you can't get to your money, then you wake up and start to question what the hell's been going on. And
Mhm,
that's kind of where we are, is people waking up to what the hell's been going on. This doesn't smell right. This doesn't pass the smell test.
yeah,
And just the whole um like you said, corporate manipulation and money, and I uh, I was very intrigued by digital currency, and when it started coming out in 2010, and I got pretty into it by like 2014, 2015. Um, I have felt like it was sort of the thing of the future, and now I couldn't get out of it fast enough. Like, it's imploding.
mhm,
There's a diabolical element behind it that has been paying for diabolical types of activities that
mhm.
we've
I
been
mean, that's
completely.
true for any bank, honey, like.
Yeah, right, right. But I guess where I was going to with that is, you know um XRP. Right?
Mhm,
So I have a lump of XRP that I can't do anything with. They won't let me trade it, cash it out, nothing. It's just frozen.
mhm,
And in the beginning, XRP is what everybody thought was going to be the main one that banks would follow, that platform.
mhm,
And this FTX, that's another one. So you're seeing lawsuits involved with these nefarious activities. And you'll continue to see it. This isn't going to go away. I think spring of 2023, this huge Aries new moon at 0 degrees with many planets piled up, outer planets changing signs and going into eclipse season, you're going to see a lot of wild stuff come out. And I guess all I want to offer up is just keep an open mind. Don't be too reactive. Just, does it hit your heart and feel true? And I think that's probably one of the hardest things, is when something you hear that you just don't want to believe it's true and it makes your heart ache. But we need to journey our heartache. We need to journey that opening of the heart, because that's what's going to ultimately somewhat purify this dark manipulation. When we wake up and we say, hey, wait, we're a sovereign, free human being.
mhm.
My right to be here and your right to be here is equivalent to the people in ivory towers, where we've been all believed to, like, well, we're the schmucks digging the ditches for some elite section. And
Mhm,
so I think it's interesting. And don't get scared. When you start feeling nervous or scared, breathe and meditate. Just breathe light. Just sit and surround your heart with light, and it'll bring you a calmness. And just remember that nothing ever stays the same. And some of the sort of conspiracy theorist, truth seeking types of platforms say we will see an implosion of the economy, and you'll need enough resources or cash for a couple of weeks for it to all kind of reset. There'll be one currency that they decide to reset, and then it'll be on a more fair level playing field. So
Did you
it might,
see that China deposited like 1 point something billion in gold?
that's what I was talking about a little while ago. I got off on another thought, was these bonds that back infrastructures in cities, right?
Mhm.
Well, what if those, that's what I work in real estate, is huge developments within cities to build tunnels and bridges and wastewater plants and the infrastructure that makes a community work, right? And
Mhm.
those are all based on getting funds from paper. So we've already seen since Friday a real shakeup in what it means to future projects, right? Because these projects can often take a year or two to develop. Well, I said to one of the attorneys, and of course they think I'm crazy anyway, but I was like, well, they're just going to pay with a pound of gold.
And here they are, 1 point something billion in gold like today after the weekend.
You know,
Ah.
it's an interesting time, and in astrology, the belief is you chose the moment you wanted to be born, where, and to whom. And so if you in your life are feeling like what's going on and why am I going through this, or fear or any negative kind of feeling, to me, that's a comforting thought. My spirit guides, we decided together I would be born at this time, at this place, with these gifts and with these challenges. So nothing you're presented with can take you down unless you let that ego and negative talk do it to you.
Mhm.
We ultimately have the power within ourselves to stay optimistic, to see everything as an opportunity to grow and to learn. And so maybe what we're all going to be learning here soon is the difference between a centralized financial system and a decentralized financial system. Hey, that sounds pretty interesting, right? If you want to read, there's a book called The Spider and the Starfish, which exactly describes that. And so, we need to be open to educating ourselves and not taking what has been as the authority. We need to become our own authority. And that's what Aries is, and Mars. We're the soldier, we're the survivor. We go out there and we conquer our our blocks. And um, you know, we're just coming back around at a time in history where computers and electronics, the morals of them will be under focus. Is it moral to think that your relationship is with an AI robot? Is that moral? And everybody's going to feel different. We don't all have to agree, but these are the kinds of questions this energy is going to propose to society. As a society and humanity, what do you think makes us the most creative and expansive society that we can be? That is the question.
I think we need to get on the bandwagon of making babies and stuff. can't make babies with AI. I'm just saying, like,
I think they're trying, with the
I mean, well, I
clones.
know that, like, I've seen the pods, the baby pods, where they're
Yes, it's
incubating babies with some kind of technology, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the
well, and just on that note, it was 1996 when the what was it? Dolly wasn't that a lamb that they cloned? That
yeah.
was the first clone done with an animal.
Mhm.
So yeah, it can get really weird. I think some of the things we thought are really weird are probably really true, and it's just a matter of pulling, the rose-colored lenses off our eyes and seeing the reality of how diabolical some of these institutions have been.
Mhm.
You know, it was one of the labs in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, that was doing experiments on the uh, coronavirus. So,
Really?
yes,
Oh, that's too close to home.
Chapel Hill has been up to no good. And that's been a very prominent, great reputation institution for a long time. And I think that's what we're going to start seeing is different sides of what seemed great, not so much.
Mhm.
And one
Well,
of the
maybe
first
it's
thing that
because
comes
of, like, people that are in the management area.
Well, and the pharmaceutical companies,
Mhm.
right? So this is my soapbox. I've been in the legal field forever, but just watch the cycle. You have you talk about when you're growing up, what happened to the ads for, chewing gum and peanut butter and dog food and bathroom cleanser, right? You don't see those anymore. You see drugs, pharmaceutical drugs,
Mhm.
and then you see lawsuits for the class action suit from the pharmaceutical drug that came out 3 years ago. And if you've suffered death, you can file a lawsuit now. That's all you see, like back to back. And I am somewhat cynical about the legal field. I've been in it. I've seen stuff I just cared not to see, but the money and the power and the manipulation involved is wrong. And so, like all cycles, things have to come full circle. And I think what we're going to be seeing is cycles of nefarious activity have come full circle, and we're going to see some hard truths. And we need to be willing to um, see that and navigate it and say no more. We're not going to do this anymore. Um, the one of the predictions for this next cycle of Saturn and Pisces is that the mainstream medical community will be more holistic. Old fashioned holistic medicine will become more mainstream because there's been decades of this behavior of the um I want to say
Like, thinking that drugs are the cure all for everything, where,
right,
you're coming to find out they're more natural and holistic
right.
remedies is actually the way to go. Being, like, more, natural and organic and,
And one
um
of the things too is generational, because like I know, like our grandparents' generation, my parents' generation, they hung on every word a doctor told them. If a
mhm,
doctor told them they needed to take this, there was no question. You're
mhm,
starting to see that change. Um, where people are taking the doctor to task. Well, because they've been doing studies about statin drugs and finding large amount of statin drugs in the brains of Alzheimer's people who
mhm,
died of Alzheimer's, and they dissect the brain and they find statins. So people are starting to question, well, why am I going to take this drug for cholesterol when my body naturally makes cholesterol and they're finding statin in the brains of Alzheimer's?
mhm.
And have incidences of dementia and Alzheimer's increased over the decades. So we've had enough of this sort of industrialized society to make comparisons to, yes, maybe we've gotten people to live longer, but are they living quality? Because when they're taking 6, 7, 8, 9 drugs that keep them
Alive.
stomach upset, constipation, headaches, cranky moods, depression. I mean, is that quality of life? But you can never tell anybody this. I mean, I watch it all around me. I went through it with my own parents. Everybody has a very individual feeling about this, but I have noticed a trend towards, because I do Medicare work, right? It's kind of a part-time thing that I do. I'm around seniors who need their Medicare insurance. They're people ages 65 and up. And what I've noted, I've done this for about 12 years. And what I've noticed is more of a trend of people saying, like, they'll get a prescription for osteoporosis, right? That's a very typical getting old thing.
Right.
Those drugs have major side effects like liver failure, vomiting.
Mhm.
Okay, so would you rather take the risk of your bones maybe not being as strong as they were when you were 20 years old, or having liver failure and throwing up all the time?
Mhm.
It's things like that. It's things like that. And there will always be people that still hang on every word a doctor says and still do everything a doctor says, and that's all fine and good. All I'm saying is that the shifts in planetary relationships in our world as we see it, and cycles of history, are bringing up these questions, bringing up these debates. Aries is about debating, and on an extreme level, it's about fighting and arguing. So, you want to try to be aware of, you're probably going to come across some pretty cranky people over the next few weeks. And people's nerves are on edge. And if they don't have any comprehension of spiritual tools or meditation or how they breathe, because in general, we all breathe too shallow, right? Which makes our
Mhm.
nervous system all jittery, and we take it out on people. So I would just try to be mindful of everyone is trying to deal with these energies the best they know how, and
Mhm.
that we are here as spiritual people to help people navigate, to say, hey, take a breath. You don't have to make a decision right now about this. Just sleep on it, right? Tomorrow will be better. All these really simple age old philosophies that work.
That sounds wonderful. I mean, like,
It's an exciting time.
yeah, so this is going to happen for the next couple of weeks, and then you had mentioned that um it's going to go into Cancer, right? Or something like that. Is what
Mars,
Mars
yeah,
is
that's
going
like the 28th, and that is really cranky.
and so that's like a week from now.
So
So
we'd already
where
start feeling it.
after the plateau of the Cancer, in you said in Aries or Mars, um,
Mars going in from Gemini into Cancer. So
from Gemini into Cancer, and then after that, the 28th, going into April, because even in April, there's going to be more changes that is
well,
going
this
on.
is beginning of eclipse season, right?
Right.
So yes. So we have,
So from now until a couple of
say, the
weeks.
middle of April. Let's say the 30 days here.
Sorry. How do I turn this off? Sorry, guys. It's gonna be a roller coaster, guys.
So our next lunation before the April eclipse is April 5th. We'll have a Libra full moon.
Okay,
So
so then balance is restored. Everybody
it's a
gets a
little
breather.
more calming, a little more peaceful, right? So we're all this fire, headstrong Aries. I want to fight. I want to argue with you. I am feeling cranky. I
Uh-huh.
am feeling upset. And so then by the first week or so of April, A Libra full moon is, I just want to be beautiful. I want my house to be beautiful. I want you to be beautiful. I want to sing Kumbaya and we're all going to get along and it's all going to work out.
Okay, yeah.
I wish it were that easy, but trying to look at it from like fire to air, that's where we're going from, right?
Right.
Fire
Mhm.
is creative. The positive way to do this energy is create. And if you don't feel like
So
doing it, write it down, draw it, drawing. Like my thing right now is starting to draw like how I want my garden to be in the spring.
oh,
I've already
nice.
contacted somebody like till my garden, get out there in nature. And, if you're pissed off about something, beautify a flower bed full of weeds or trim something that's overgrown or just channel that energy into something physical. If you're a runner, or you like the gym, that's the positive way to express all of this fire Aries. Oh, I just feel pissed off energy, right? And so then within a few weeks, it'll ebb, right? We'll have a little ebb, a full moon in Libra, which is we're going to see a lot of clarity on lawsuits,
Mhm.
right? We're going to see more information in the justice system, Libra, the
Mhm.
scales of fairness, right? So that will make us feel better. So where we're all sort of suspicious and angry, and I saw the term hangry today, and I was like,
Angry.
yeah. So, um, so that makes us feel better when we have information, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully these chats that explain how people are feeling by planets and what elements they're in helps utilize it, helps express it. That if you're feeling fired up and ticked off about something or piping off at people for no reason, flail your arms to the heavens and thank Mars and the sun and the moon and Mercury and Jupiter, because they're all piled up in Aries right now, a cardinal fire energy, pioneering, get things done. Um,
So use it in a positive way if you can. If you catch yourself being like,
Channel it into something that needs to be cleaned,
mhm.
decluttered. I thought of this, like, how our cars get really grungy, like
Mhm.
all the little
Mhm.
crevices and everything. Just anything that you can do to focus your mind on getting something cleaned up. I was telling you before we came on, I've been cleaning out a lot of paper clutter in my office. There's still more to do, but it's like it's channel that nervous energy into getting something cleaned up or changed, or you've been dormant all winter and now it's time to get busy, get active, take a walk outside at the very least.
Mhm.
And so um, it's a really interesting time. I see some comments about physical aches and pains. So, our bodies are under these vibrations, right? So you may feel more stiff, you may feel more aches and pains, but this is, where the power of your mind to heal comes in and the belief that you can heal your body. If you have, aches and pains, sit quietly and envision beautiful, lovely light all around that achy joint or all around your body. Or if your heart is broken, envision light around your heart and send that person who broke your heart love and hope that they are happy and healthy and feeling good, because that's how we transmute the negativity. And uh, so it really is an exciting time, but you don't want the energy to beat you up like I'm getting like a car wash. You know how you get smacked, your car gets smacked around in the car wash. So left to its druthers, this energy could smack you around a little bit and leave you feeling very fatigued and worn out. So channel it, focus it on something you've been wanting to accomplish, something new, um, a new class, a new hobby, a new job, a new skill, something you've been wanting to do. And and then I think there's going to be a pretty calming lull with the Libra air, because air again is more intellectual. It's we're learning things which bring clarity. And when we feel like we have an answer, we naturally feel more calm, right? Right now, we're feeling all riled up because banks are faltering, global currencies are resetting. What the heck is going on? Or am I going to be able to get my coffee and my coffee filters at the store? And, all those mundane little needly things that we do to ourselves. And so it's a real test of our faith and belief in why are you here and what. And I saw the note tonight, unfortunately too late, about how we're going to do a show on where your nodes are, like for what's your purpose here. And now that I've refound my node, I will work on it for that would be a good Libra and full moon thing to do. And
Okay.
yeah, I'm sorry. I really just completely forgot until
Oh
just this.
no. I mean, like, even for me in the past couple of weeks, I've been super busy with a lot of stuff to do. So you're
Lists,
okay, honey.
lists of lists.
Yeah, list,
So,
list.
you know, people will jerk our chain. And in 3D mundane everyday life, you have to deal with other people, other
Mhm.
drivers in other cars, clerks in stores, just doing your daily life. And this is the time to really be mindful of your triggers. So somebody cuts you off in traffic, send them light. God bless you, right?
Mhm.
I hope you have a great day. You know, flip the energy so that you don't feed that anger or that Mars I want to fight energy. You want to diffuse it. And really exciting times, really exciting times for opportunities to enhance your metaphysical gifts. When you say study something new, I think quantum physics. If you've never looked into Tesla or Isaac Newton, these were people from other places and times. And that will be more prominent too as the year goes on, are that acceptance that there are other species, other galaxies, and other technologies that reveal themselves. So, embrace that. Get excited because it is exciting. It's not anything to, the powers that be and that elite few want us scared. So we have to fight that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm excited. But I
I'm
tell you, every
excited.
day I get triggered by something, some idiot on the road, some idiot in where I work, and so every day it's a test to really talk yourself off the ledge, right? I am not going to let that asshole spoil my day. I am not going to feed into whatever is hitting my ego the wrong way, blah, 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 blah. It's a constant, watchful of your thoughts and
Mhm.
it is. It's you can't let up because then it'll just drag you, you know,
Yeah, and you have to really be mindful
you
and not
do.
let
Slow
other
down
people.
and and be mindful of your day, and
Mhm.
don't let something that happens in the morning affect your whole day, and that can be a challenge sometimes.
It was a challenge, honey. That happened today.
let's see, the other morning, I usually have about a 20-minute commute. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to get to work.
Mhm.
I sat on the highway 1 hour in one place. I mean, it took over an hour to get 3 miles.
Mhm.
So when I got up to where whatever was going on, because this was like 6 lanes, like a parking lot, and nobody moving, and you're stuck. You cannot move. You cannot get out of there. You're stuck. And it's this constant sort of, well, what am I going to get pissed off about? I'm here. It's a waste of energy to get mad about this. I got to deal with this. This is my day. This is how my day is starting, right? And so when I got to whatever had happened, I think we had some black ice, like it didn't seem like there would be ice, but there was enough water on the road and frozen that somebody slid and caused a pretty major pileup.
Mhm.
So I get to my office, I'm an hour and a half late, and I'm mad. I'm like, my day has just not started good. And it probably took me till lunchtime to let it go, you know,
Mhm.
just get out of it. It's done. There's nothing you can do about it. It just, and that's what I mean about don't let something like that take too much time out of your life. We've got to learn how to recognize the trigger and transmute it, right? And so then the next morning, no lie, I'm getting into the same area of the entrance ramp of this highway, and it's a dead standstill. No lie. My whole body just kind of went like, oh my God, I can't do this again. I can't do this again. It was like a test of my whole like mental
That's
stability.
when you put on, like, YouTube or the radio and you listen to,
I
like,
did
some
have the radio
podcast or,
turned
you
up,
know.
yes, but but it did end up being, like, just right there, and then it moved on, and it was almost like this cosmic joke to test,
To
you
see if you
know.
really did get over that.
Right, and so it's daily, and it's minute by minute, and I'm not trying at all to imply, like, it's easy. I'm just trying to offer ideas to make it better, or
What
have an
came to my
explanation.
mind was that, we're all a very 3D society. What if we knew that we could actually teleport ourselves,
Right,
through particles
right.
and be in another location uh, in a second? Then we wouldn't have any issues with cars getting in the way. We can go wherever we need to go if we let our minds do it,
Yeah,
like.
yeah. And there's predictions that that's where we are heading is back to
Mhm,
the times of Atlantis, right? And
mhm.
in Lemuria and Atlantis, they did transport their bodies through their thoughts. Flying cars are not far from our reality. Like, you remember George Jetson used to have his little briefcase and he unpacked his little helicopter and he flew himself to work.
Mhm.
And, the technology is there. We're the ones that I think have had somewhat of a resistance to evolution because it's scary.
Hmm, I don't
There's
know.
some really freaky stuff I think that is going to be unfolding over the next several years. Things like, well, things that have been going on, but that they're coming out more, and things like inbred people with other species.
Oh, that's been around.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I mean, they've been here since the beginning of time from what I know,
yeah.
and,
But we
yeah,
haven't wanted to acknowledge that.
well, that's because of the history and how it's been written, and it's we get the baby version of history.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, that's a different topic, I'm not going into that.
I know. It's just an exciting time to be open to, things that uh, evolve, right?
Hmm. Yeah, sounds good. So, are we gonna get into the
I,
cards?
I've been shuffling, and I think we're doing Marchetti tonight. Are we gonna? This is the one I have. Is
Yeah, the Tarot Grand Lux, and I have the Gilded Tarot Royale. Oops.
beautiful artwork.
Yeah, both by Ciro Marchetti. And so, yeah.
And, I was drawn to this energy because, lions and fire. Oh my. There's a
Because
lot of
you're a Leo.
fire in the air. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
I was telling you about my son. My son is a Sag.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
actually, both of my sons are fire signs. I have one that's a Leo and the other is a Sag.
Yes. So they're probably pretty fired up right
They're
now.
always, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have it in me to handle fire
There might
signs.
be, some anger there.
Yeah, I mean, especially for my son with his little incident today. So, yeah, carry on.
Chewbacca says a Chihuahua can breed with a Great Dane.
Oh my
That
god,
would be a funny looking
that
dog.
chihuahua get tore up.
So you had a traffic jam too. That
Mhm,
sucks. It's a real test of your patience. It's a real test of surrender, right? You're there. You can't do anything about it.
mhm.
So we have Aries, which is this. I got two cards fell out. You got the Six of Swords, and
Yeah.
this is the Nine of Wands
Okay. Mhm.
and the Ten of Cups.
Oh, wow. So this is like the rite of passage for Aries to really release something so they can be happy. So instead of all that pent up anger, release whatever it is in the past or is no longer serving you and just be happy.
Yeah, acknowledge the abundance you have, and embrace whatever this struggle was as sort of a life cycle or a life lesson, and it's complete with a new, more emotionally mature energy, because
Mhm.
definitely Aries can be very childlike, immature types of reactions.
Yeah, be like that couple that's sitting on the sofa, next to the fire.
Yes, I have some cards that are turned. That's just one. Okay. Yes, this is how we should all be feeling inside over the next few weeks.
Warm and fuzzy, just like that kitty.
The kitty, yes. Don't they look calm and peaceful?
Mhm. Not all fired up and angry.
Right. Angry.
Okay, so next we have Taurus.
So on St. Patrick's Day, the 17th, Venus moved into Taurus, and that's its home. And it also hooked up with Jupiter uh, within a few days of that in Aries. So Venus is love and money. In
Mhm.
Taurus, it's at home. And when it's holding hands with Jupiter like that, that's the opportunity for new growth, new abundance, new love, new art, new. Taurus is unctuous. It's velvet and luxury and
Wine and dine and
spa
finer things.
treatments.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a good way to do this energy, is some spa treatments. All weekend I tried to find time to go get my feet pedicured, and I kept putting it off, like, oh, I don't want to take the time. Oh, but
No, I get that. Like, I was busy too. I need a
you
pedicure.
need a pedicure, yes.
So I have here Page of Pentacles.
And I have the seven of coins.
Interesting. So this is about like kind of like initiation, putting your ego to the side and just really getting started on something. If you've been really been patient about working on something. So, also there could be something here about like a younger child or a sibling, and that's for some. That's not for all Taurus.
Well, Taurus is definitely about banking and finances.
Yeah, so
Kind of,
maybe cashing in, like starting a small investment somewhere, like a new investment.
yeah, yeah.
It could be that project that they were thinking of around this time um, that could actually benefit them for long term.
An art class. And then, unbeknownst to you, you can make money off of your art.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I
Really.
like the peacock. So the peacock is, a reminder notice that we have our guardian angels, and those eyes on the tail are all eyes are on you, that you were protected. So
Mhm.
maybe Taurus could call in their guardian angels for guidance on what that new thing is they should pursue.
I think they already know. At least that's how I feel. Because
Yeah.
Taurus always, they're kind of creative, also like inventive when it comes to financial things. So okay.
Yes.
So next we have Gemini, and I have, let's see here, 10 of Wands.
I have the King of Cups.
Oh, interesting. Well, with the 10 of Wands, there's something here that you're holding on to that you need to really release and let go of. Maybe open up your heart a little bit, Gemini. Hmm.
Well, it's definitely emotional maturity, right? Getting control of the emotions, being king.
I'm also seeing like the 3 deer here. There's actually 3 males, um, including the one that's holding the thing. I don't know. There's like a power struggle of some sort when it comes to other people.
Well, and deers can represent gentleness, maybe being gentle with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the ego has had a hit, and there's a certain degree of licking the wounds or going to get a pedicure.
Yeah, I would say like really finding the time to just not be so hard on yourself.
Right.
Be more loving, like self love type
I think
situation.
that's probably the main message for Gemini.
Yeah. So be gentle, Gemini.
Because Mercury, the ruling planet of Gemini, has gone into Mercury now. So, I mean, gone into Aries now. So that's air, fire. That's the synapses in the brain, right? It's
Hmm.
very active. It can be exhausting. So Gemini should probably do a little extra to get a little time out to chill.
Yeah. So next we have Cancer. And then for Cancer, I have Ace of Wands.
Oh, I got the Queen of Cups.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Cancer is
On fire. It's a new
on the
beginning.
moon here.
Yeah. So maybe you're open. to love or open to receive, not being so held back.
A gift from divine.
Definitely there's some passion that you have to maybe even you're the one that wants to open up to someone when it comes to love. But didn't you say that like you should think about it first before you like move
Jump.
forward?
Yeah.
Yeah. So really look at your thoughts and feelings around this time, Cancer, and then move forward if
And
that's what
temper
you
the
do.
emotions. Because with Mars moving into Cancer,
Hmm.
Cancer people are going to feel crankier.
Oh yeah, so it could backfire on them. Like, what? You don't love me after I just like confessed my love? Like, what the hell? Like,
What?
and
You don't
then
want to
Cancer
feed
goes
me?
back
You're
into
not going
their
to cook
shell.
for me and
Yeah,
nurture me?
I'll never forget.
What, I have to nurture myself?
I know, right? Nobody loves me. Damn
Oh,
it! Like,
they overcooked the pasta.
oh
The
shit!
pasta's soggy. Oh,
I cooked this pasta for you. Didn't you like it?
this shade of beige is the wrong shade. Do it again.
That's okay.
I know. The music's too loud. My
I
feet hurt.
know.
My tummy hurts.
Yeah, I over.
I miss my mommy.
Yeah,
We do some pretty good Cancerian.
yeah.
You know, a long time ago, we used to do these conferences in person with astrology, and we'd have these stage shows, and people would dress up as planets, right? We'd make these like round costumes and stuff, and we
Uh-huh.
would like do little, like what you and I just did, which I've always wanted to reinvent that because it was so fun, because it was a way to really show how people with those energies interact, right? And
Mhm.
so we would have like the moon and Mars over here, and we would have this script between them. Oh, it
Uh-huh.
was so much fun. So
Oh,
much fun. So much fun.
and it's a good way to kinda laugh about the
And
situationship
to
too.
learn, right. It was a good
Yeah.
way to learn what, Mars in Cancer was like.
So now we're
Being
on.
that I have a Cancer moon and a Cancer Venus, I'm not all that excited about Mars moving into Cancer because
Yeah, you're probably like, "Well, bring it on." Like,
cranky.
I knew this was gonna happen. Like,
You know what it will do for, okay, so my moon and Venus is in Cancer, Mars moving into Cancer, it will be an exasperation.
oh.
That's an exasperating, like, can't get to the point, can't get to uh, the final task, or, like you're almost to the end of your task and they move the goal line. It's that constant sort of, I feel exasperated, I'm spinning
Mhm.
my wheels and I'm not getting forward. So that's
So
another
I bet you're
explanation.
looking forward to that.
I tell you what, I've already started feeling it. Just, what, trying not to be too um, cranky, the
Mhm.
self-talk. That traffic jam the other day, I mean, that whole hour and a half, I was having to tell myself, don't get pissed off. There's nothing you can do. Be calm, breathe, oh, go off somewhere in your head. You're on the beach
Yeah,
right
because
now.
you're
And
not
this,
the only one in that traffic jam, so are the
I
rest of
know,
them,
I know. There was this guy, I watched this guy in front of me. Now, this is like 7:30 in the morning. And he was in a huge truck, and this little car wanted to get over in another lane. And his hand came out the window, and he had an ice cream cone in it.
Oh,
So I'm like, he's eating an ice cream cone at
so he
7:30 in the morning. He's laughing and he's like waving this car on. He's got this ice cream cone. I was
I'm
like,
sure he was,
God, he's having a good morning. Eating
he
ice
must be on
cream
he
for
was on
breakfast.
something, girl. Just saying. That wake and bake. So next we have Leo, and I came up with death.
Oh, wow. And I have, I think it's, oh, the Ace of Wands. This is terribly creative.
Oh, wow.
So I would say reinvent that sculpture.
Yeah.
Whatever
So
that
it's time for
creative
change.
project was is being reinvented.
Hmm. If there was something that you, I guess, were working on or whatnot, it's time to let it go for something new. It's like that little oomph to kind of really change. And
Yeah.
plus, Leo's a fixed sign, so I mean,
Yes.
if you're having a hard time of, you know,
Change.
change, then now's the time to do it.
And aces are always, like a divine gift, like something magical happening to help.
Yeah, I see that little dragon there.
He's
That's
got a dragon there, I know.
mm-hmm.
This is actually very passionate too.
Yeah. So maybe
And
um
and there's new growth on that wand. So maybe that's you know, oh, so your card, the death card, is tilling under last year's garden for the new garden to be passionately created.
yeah, I see the white rose there.
Yeah. To purify the earth.
Yeah, and I see that there's a pony on that shield also. That must be
That,
the Sag energy.
that's the tiller. That's the horse pulling the plow.
Like, yeah. Come on, giddy up. Let's get it on. All right, let's grow something.
Yeah. New. Something new.
Yeah, so yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Well, I am a
So,
Leo, and I did call a person this week about tilling a garden. So,
it would be
yeah,
so funny if he was pulling up in a Mustang or something like that with a little horse emblem somewhere like on his
that's
logo.
funny.
Yeah, I would look out for it and see if oh, it must be a sign. That must be the wine. Like,
Oh my gosh. I think the one I called is married. So
oh, okay.
that's that.
Well, just see what he rolls up in. If
Yeah.
it's a white stallion, that
Yeah.
white truck or something.
Yeah. Well,
So
if he
next,
has the same kind of truck that I used him last year, it was red.
well, he might go for an upgrade. You never know.
Yeah.
Just saying. Sorry, I had to borrow this other truck, and you're like, oh,
I saw something about vehicles that make men attractive. Did you see that study? It was online somewhere. It was like, do women find men in what kind of vehicle women find men more attractive? I think truck was number one.
mm-hmm.
SUV and sports car was kind of down on the list.
I would say a truck for number one. Number two would be a Jeep. Number three, I don't know.
SUV.
Yeah, SUV.
What's
Yeah,
that
the
one?
sports car would be last on the list because that's just like
Kind
that
of,
reminds me of like easy come, easy go.
easy. Yeah.
Or they're using it for looks or I don't know.
Let's see. Prince had that little song, Red Little Red Corvette.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm missing that, Chewbacca. What does Corvette with shrimp mean?
Hold on, let me see. I can't see the chat. Um
What does Corvette with shrimp mean?
that guy starts with desert and ends with soup. Al dente is passe, tiny.
Tiny. Oh, 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 I get it.
Sorry.
That sounds like personal experience there.
I don't know, but the way how Prince moves, and I've
Oh
seen him
my God,
live.
I just had a flash from the past. You're right. You are exactly right.
Tiny pickle.
You
What is
are
it?
exactly
A
right.
baby dill? Like,
We are talking about gardening, right?
I don't know. Kosher.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. If you only knew how funny you really are. We're on Virgo now, right?
Yeah,
So
Virgo.
Virgo and an Aries new moon, earth and fire. So that's kind of challenging.
I was about to say, like, that's like a heated argument.
It's like two stubborn heads butting up against
That's
each
telling
other.
a Virgo what to do, and a Virgo say, go to hell. Like, you can go to hell with your,
They're going to
like,
do it
yeah,
their way or the
I'm the
highway.
leader here. Who the hell are
Yeah,
you talking
yeah,
to? Like,
yeah. They're going to sit and analyze it. Analysis paralysis.
okay, I finally got something. Okay, Queen of Swords.
Oh, I got a queen of coins.
Oh, well,
Two
hello.
queens, Virgo.
Mm,
Hmm.
okay, so do you want to tell what's up? And you're going to tell him, like, well, I'm the boss, bitch.
Or how
Like,
about, is this the choice between love or money? How about that?
okay, yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
So either earth sign here or air sign could be about that. But I don't know. It's a toss up. This one here is really speaking like some truth bombs, whoever this air sign is. But it may not be practical for you. I don't know. Maybe you think it's just too much of an idea and not really. I don't know. And do you
This
see that
one,
there's a kitty here down here, and in yours you have a fox and a bunny, and you got jungle on your side. You got like everybody on your side, and we only have like some birds and a kitty.
this one reminds me, this one feels very mystical. Like, look at her headpiece there. It's like the mystic, or I don't know. This
Yeah, well,
is
she's got trees up there, which is like the roots of wisdom. Like she's really grounded and knowledgeable, and all the birds come and flock to this Queen of Coins. Even the foxes, who is a little devious and sneaky, and the little hare, that comes and goes. Like everybody goes to, I guess the sage in the forest.
yeah.
And over here we have someone who comes in peace. They know what they're speaking about. But only Kitty here is looking up to this Queen of Swords energy.
You've got birds too.
Yeah, but mine are like doves, which I don't know. I feel like there's like two different things going on in Virgo. Like, are you having like, oh, what is it called? Like an alter ego? Like, or I don't know. I want to say bipolar. Like, a little bipolar energy going on. It could be that, or just two people that you have to make a conscious decision about. Like, I don't know. I'm a little confused myself.
It's pretty intense. It's a lot of divine energy surrounding Virgo right now, for sure. Those could be guardian angels.
Yeah, maybe the higher self is speaking to Virgo about the truth, and maybe Virgo, you think you know the truth, like you have all the answers you need, but maybe it's time for you to listen.
Right.
Like sit in meditation, really follow it is what it is that's in your heart, but take a couple days before you come to a conclusion, which I'm pretty sure
And
Virgo might do.
Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is moving into this Aries right now. So that could be um, inspiration. Virgo has a very spiritual, angelic side to it. So, with the ruling planet moving into Aries, that could be a straight on inspiration, epiphany of some sort.
Well, I hope so. Just saying. Oh, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see it now.
There you go.
It took me a while, but I get it.
Yeah.
I, I get it.
Yeah.
Uh, not a virgin anymore.
Oh,
Time to, I don't know, go out in the garden. like,
immaculate conception. Is that what I'm trying to say?
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
So next we have Libra.
Which is opposite this new moon and all these planets in Aries. So that could, mean separating from some money. It could mean not getting justice in something.
But they will in a couple weeks.
Right. It all comes full circle in the end.
Yeah, so, oh, well, well, well. We have here King of Pentacles.
And I have the Prince of Cups.
Okay. So Page of Cups. So Libra, maybe you're more grounded this time and taking care of business. But there's that creative thing that you could be working on that you really have your heart on. Um, I really also feel like this is a parental thing,
Yeah, I get that too.
like being like the person to kind of like, I don't know.
A father and son.
Mm-hmm. Or even a daughter. It could be a daughter. But there's like this parent thing going on between the two of you.
Could be sending off a child to college. That could be the separation.
Mm-hmm.
All the emotions surrounding the empty nest.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely feel that. Also, just really being a provider, a caretaker of what the child needs. So I can hear, Daddy, can I have this? And like, yes,
I
my
want a
child.
pony.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a pony,
I want a
baby.
pygmy goat.
Yeah. Like, just wait a couple weeks and we'll get there. I got a plan.
I
Right
want to
now,
have some like little goats and make goat milk and goat cheese.
okay, well, like I need to make goat soap. So
Yes.
I don't know, that could be a little
There is
project.
a YouTube channel, I think it's called Sunflower Creamery. It's a farm, and all their videos are just of all the little baby goats running around.
Oh,
It's it's very entertaining to watch little baby goats run around.
I think they're cute.
They are darling.
Yes, I never knew that baby goats were so cute.
I
like
neither.
until they grow up and then they're stubborn
Yeah.
assholes. Just saying. I could say it because I'm a Capricorn. So next we have Scorpio. Wow. I'm not gonna take it. It was two cards. But the
Scorpio
Emperor.
might be feeling a little challenged under this energy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Making some adjustments and attitudes. They're that fixed energy that, some of the things that might be shaking up might require seeing something differently.
So I have here the Six of Cups. So this could be about the past.
I have the Queen of Swords.
Hmm.
She's the psychic one.
So here you are, Scorpio, thinking about the past, going down memory lane. This could also be about kids too.
I'm wondering what the point was.
Hmm. So, are you still stuck in the past? Hmm. Maybe this is about the truth about someone that you've known and you're coming to a conclusion about it. And everything is gravy, right? Like, I see here butterflies and a little kitty and a mouse. Like, maybe you thought that there was a little like gossip going on here.
Look at the flames coming up out of her crown.
Yeah, I really feel like there's like some sort of revelation about like this. I really feel it's kind of like an epiphany.
Here's another peacock. So this is another thing about all eyes on you and being surrounded by divine protection.
Yeah. Hmm. You
I
know,
like it.
I see it here very closely. There's a frog,
Oh, cleansing.
but do you see that one looks like an angry person and what is I feel like that's let's just say divine feminine and masculine. Masculine here is the frog.
Is the cat going to eat the frog?
I don't know. Kitty is looking up there, but I feel like if you're a female, okay,
So here is the food chain, right? We've got the cat eating the
mice,
in the is that a squirrel?
that's a bunny.
Oh, bunny.
Hmm.
I don't know. There's
So,
some
I
sort
mean,
of ecosystem going there.
today is the first day of spring too, right?
Yes, it
Maybe
is.
Scorpio, you're not feeling the feel good vibes. There could be someone coming from your
Oh, and
past
there's a
that,
butterfly there too. So
hmm,
transformation.
yeah. So get out of the cycle, whatever it is. Like, I feel like you're going to get downloads. Just listen to whatever is coming towards you, but don't make anything big
And
out
this
of it.
kind of has like a third eye thing going on here in the middle of her forehead. So
Oh, yeah, a blue
trust
diamond.
your intuition and don't agonize over not understanding the point.
Yeah,
Just,
you don't have to know everything, Scorpio.
you
Come
don't
on.
have to be in control.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. You can put the knife down. It'll be all right.
Oh,
Just saying. So next
she
we have
looks in control.
she's like, I got this knife, bitch. I was like, no, we're not talking about the
Yeah, look at
past.
this expression. This isn't. She looks very confident. Like
She's
I got
crazy. She got
this.
the crazy
She
eye.
does have some crazy eyes.
I got you.
I got it. And she's
One
getting ready
shot.
to cut the head off of the peacock, it looks like.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's the masculine energy. She's like, nah, you don't look that great. I got something for you. But it's that blue color. The blue
Oh,
is
I
a
like the
color
blue.
of
Yeah.
like royalty and also um feeling like you're this regal thing, like just like the peacock, right?
Yeah.
But seeing the truth that maybe it's not all that because there's a lot of swords up there, so you're protecting yourself. Are
Yeah.
you also guilty? Just saying.
Well, also, those eyes look like she's holding secrets.
Exactly.
She'll
So
never tell.
no, that's a Scorpio.
Yeah.
It's okay. Get over it, Scorpio. You'll be all right.
So, Sag should be, like this is a trine, Lady Luck to this lunation with everything in Aries. So, that's very fortuitous.
Well, let's see, because I said my son was a Sag, and he did not give me any good luck today. Just
Um,
so
and it
we
can
have
only
here,
get better.
yeah, we have the High Priestess for Sag.
And I have the Eight of Swords.
Hmm. So this is about, are you feeling like trapped or stuck? What is your intuition telling you? I think Sag, you're in your head a lot today,
Yeah,
this time. Hmm. Like, I really feel because Sag is about freedom and going where the wind blows, right? Like wherever they
right,
want to go. But for whatever reason, you're feeling stuck and like feeling like you're the victim.
right.
I see here the initials JB, if that's any of significance to anyone watching this.
And this red scarf blowing in the wind could be representative of that Aries fire energy too, and maybe um, covering that third eye, like looking within your own intuition.
What I was getting is like Sag isn't really feeling grounded right now.
Yeah,
Like being all too much in your head because this one is floating up in the air. And with the red color, red is a symbol of groundedness. And you can't see that you're grounded because you feel like you're being attacked. And all you ever wanted to do was just be free.
yeah.
So, yeah, there's something there about that.
This feels like having to make some decisions.
Yeah, but not knowing what to do, like
Yeah.
having like no sense of direction of what to do. Well, with the
All
personal
you have to
reading,
do is walk forward, right?
well, I was about to say with a personal reading, we can help you, but I think it's gonna be different for every Sag.
Yeah.
Um, just saying, it's difficult energy. So next we have Capricorn.
The workaholic.
And now after this, I have a lot of readings to do and dinner to make and lists to check off.
Make. So I got the Five of Cups.
Oh yeah, I feel that. So like maybe you're feeling stressed out, Cappy.
Overworked.
Yeah, I have here
Underappreciated.
the King of Cups. Maybe
Oh,
you love to love, but you feel like you're not being loved and appreciated. Oh, did you hear that? Was that
that
you?
was that was that was me.
You hitting the desk? Like,
Yeah.
damn this work. Like,
Yeah. Kick it. Kick it to the curb.
uh,
She's barefoot and holding her heart.
yeah, are you drinking Capricorn? Because that's not the way to go. Look, this dude got a cup too. He's like, it's been a rough day. I just need a drink. Um, yeah, trying to get your emotions under wraps. This is about like something external out of yourself, and you're having a hard time with how you feel about this. Like
Yeah.
maybe you feel like you can't control the situation, but really you can. You just need to look up and see that there's people that's supporting you. Capricorn, you don't have to do it all by yourself, you know. But I feel like there's other people that you just can't really control also.
Two full cups waiting in the window.
Yeah, and there's one here that's holding a cup for you. I don't know if you see it. I don't think Capricorn can see it because Capricorn's all about what they're doing,
Yeah.
not what somebody else can do for you. Like,
Right.
hey, Capricorn, look up and see who's got a cup out there for you. Maybe you're missing the point. Just saying. I know sometimes there'll be cups handed to me. I'm like, what's that
What?
cup? Oh, I didn't
Oh
know.
no. I can't take that.
Yes, take that cup, honey. I just can't.
So Aquarius and Pluto goes into Aquarius um, Friday for
Mm,
11 weeks. And then it
wow.
goes retrograde and doesn't start moving forward again, and I think until like November. And so we're really not fully into Pluto and Aquarius until into 2024. But this next 11 weeks should be interesting. Pay attention to what's going on around, and you'll get a feel for what Pluto and Aquarius is going to mean for your life. It could mean innovation on some level, something unconventional being uh, renewed, restored.
So people with Aquarius in their chart should feel really relieved. Sounds like I don't know what's being said. What's going on?
I see. We all just appreciate gazing at people, right? We're people watching.
Um.
Okay, so we have Aquarius, and I have two of coins.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe not so. Maybe you're just trying to find balance in your life, Aquarius. It hasn't been so stable. Oh, and I have Ace of Wands.
Oh,
So this is the initiation to move things forward, to really find that balance that you're looking for. Also, I really feel like this has been going on for the past 2 years, and it's time for you to really find stability in your life instead of going back and forth between a situation. Because maybe you feel like you've been taken for a fool.
well, and I just feel like this is the opportunity to take up a new hobby, take up something entertaining and fun and new.
Do you see that clown? There's something reflecting off that pentacle. Can you like see what it is?
I think it's the glyph for Aquarius,
Oh, is it? So he's
or
gazing
some kind of glyph.
because there's something in there that's being reflected, and he's looking at that. So okay, one pentacle is already in his hand. Okay,
Right.
he already has it under his belt, and there's another pentacle that caught his attention that he's really facing at this time. He doesn't know.
And he's in the spotlight,
Yeah. So and he's walking on a
a
rope.
tightrope with a ladder. It's
So
like
you
he's in the theater, like in a circus.
I
Cirque du
feel like
Soleil.
okay, so this is the thing that I caught. Aquarius, you might have like an opportunity where you can excel into like this thing that you've been working on, and you have the ability to climb that ladder. And I really feel like this is through all things in your life, socially, like economically. You have what it takes to manifest abundance, I feel. um, you just have to look for the silver lining, I feel like, in this situation, and go for it. I mean, don't delay. It's there for you right now, and it's happening this week.
Yeah. And it might be a stutter step, like the next 11 weeks will go forward, and then as
Yeah.
the retrograde, you might go back over some prior ground before really getting propelled forward in the new
Mhm.
year.
I would say go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah. It's going to be all right because your time's coming anyway.
Right.
So next we have Pisces.
So let's see. We have Saturn moved into Pisces earlier this month on the 8th. And that's where we have the, explosion of all things representing illusion, which, the AI and cloning and weird stuff.
Well, I keep getting a bunch of cards come out for Pisces, so there must be a lot that's going on for them at this time. I just want one card spirit.
Well, I got the Five of Swords.
Oh, wow. No. Okay. And I have Queen of Swords.
Oh,
So the truth that you feel like you're having to defend yourself.
it looks like Pisces might be ready to assert themselves. He's holding that sword in a very authoritative manner.
Yeah, I mean it this time.
Right.
You never believe me. I know I'm always like, not trying to figure out my stuff out, but I got it this time.
And I'm going to go have a drink.
Yeah. Like, and Kitty's like, what? You said, what? Is that your truth this time, Pisces? Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is.
Yeah, he looks like a very, he's had it and he's ready to move forward. He has a very determined expression on his face.
Mm-hmm. I see. And so does she. She's like, yeah,
Oh,
I am serious. I'm telling you the
hey,
truth.
maybe this is, Saturn and Pisces. That's, a very mature type of love. So maybe these two finally decide that they're growing up.
Who knows?
Oh, Luna,
Yeah, she couldn't wait. She's like, time's up.
time's up.
Yeah, this is my Cancer princess.
Aw.
She's like, I need now.
So, Leon, if y'all will send a little prayer for me. Leon is going to be in a show at 8 a.m. on Friday.
Oh,
Mojo is going to be in a show at 12:15 Saturday.
oh. So
And
are they? Is it like the same class or same thing, or like how does
yes,
it
but
work?
2 different days because I just wanted to separate them to see if maybe one-on-one alone time they might behave a little better.
And
Because
not
when
only that, to see if they're they both get first place.
well, and like one-on-one time, like
Mhm.
I want a special outing with each one of them. I took a day of vacation Friday just to do the show.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. If you told me a year ago I was going to be doing this, I would have told you you're crazy. There's no way.
Uh-huh.
But
Now you're doing it.
but now it's like it's socializing them and giving me an opportunity to make them a little better behaved and because they're wild.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen them in a while.
I know. They're so unruly. It's kind of hard to
No,
I've
I
been
get it. Luna's
cleaning
like
out my office. If I bring them up here, they'll be into everything.
tearing everything down, and then you're like,
They love paper. I found out two of my fur babies is Taurus and one is a Leo.
oh,
Confirmation shows is technically what they're called. They have some new classes though since I did this stuff in the 90s. So isn't it interesting that in the mid and 90s I was showing dogs, Saturn and Pisces. Saturn's coming back to Pisces and I'm showing dogs again, something I never would have thought in a million years I'd do again. And my Pisces is the fifth house,
mm,
which is, you know, creativity, children. And for all intensive purposes, and not to offend anyone, but my dogs are my kids. So there you go. And you do find creative ways to make them behave, hopefully. I've decided that Leon is best motivated. This is so weird, by pieces of bark. It's not so much food or a toy, but he just loves bark. Like he'll really pay attention to a piece of bark.
Uh-huh.
So I've been experimenting with different things to get his attention and trying to learn how to make them focus.
Mm. No, I get that. Luna, she's not trained, obviously, because look how she's wilding out. But
She's so funny.
yes, Luna's
Luna, cutie pie, Luna. What
Luna.
you doing? Where's the dinosaur? Where's the dinosaur, Luna?
She's
Where's
like,
your
what?
toy?
Actually, you know what? I haven't seen that in a while.
It's behind the sofa.
You think so?
I don't
That,
know.
that's where everything lands, right?
Cutie pie. Look at you, cutie pie. You
Mm,
growing up into such a pretty girl.
you know what? So, the Facebook group that I'm a part of, where it has her mama and stuff, they decided to close it down because I think they're having like a new batch of puppies. So, I played some videos of her mama with her siblings,
Oh,
and she cried.
oh,
Can you believe that?
yes.
Yes, then she looked at her mama. I said, like, that's your mommy. And then she got all like teary eyed and stuff. And she was like,
Oh,
why are you making me look at this?
oh,
And then she looked at me, and then she got all like depressed, because you can tell like a temperament of a
yeah.
dog, if they're not feeling good. And yeah. And then she snapped out of it later on. I think I was forcing her to feel her emotions. But that's a Scorpio in me. Like, I didn't mean to. I was just really putting her in front of her mom, just to trigger some
Oh my gosh.
emotions out of her. Luna can be untrained. My dad's Great Dane is not is okay not to be trained. When she jumps on you, you go flying. Oh my god. I call Great Danes the pony ride.
I know. They're huge. I love them.
I'm like 5'2". If a Great Dane was next to me, they would be up there. Like the Great Dane would be as tall as me.
Can throw a saddle on them.
That's why I said free pony ride.
There's a lot that's changed in that world in 20 years. And because they have a class that's owner handled.
Uh-huh.
So, like, professional handlers cannot enter in that class. So, I think that's kind of interesting. I think it acknowledges that a lot of politics play into it, which is what discouraged me all those years ago to ever do it again.
Oh.
My temperament is different now, to where I'm competitive, but not as competitive. It's like I got into this because my dogs are wild and they needed some obedience. And the obedience class is for one dog or $110, but you can go in confirmation classes for 10, and you're still learning. You're teaching them how to walk on a leash. You're teaching them how to stand still when they need to. You know, they have to show their teeth, and let someone feel them. So you're getting all of the benefits of being around other dogs and socializing and giving them some discipline for a whole lot less money. And then, well, no, I just kind of got curious about how they might do. And
Were you
so
gonna shave his whiskers and stuff? And
I trimmed them just to like kind of like even them out, and I trimmed his nails.
oh.
Yeah, and gonna give him a bath,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to take them one at a time. It's a little bit of a drive to get there. And I just thought, well, maybe there's something to just taking one at a time. Thank you.
Mhm. I think so.
And, but then I don't know. Then it's like I get, like, I want to win. I'll say I'm not competitive, and then I'll get there and it's like, okay, I want to win.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, let's see. Let's see here. I think because I've been doing some cleaning around my office.
Mhm.
Bear with me, folks. I don't know what I did to my hip, but after I sit for a while, my hip gets sore.
Oh.
Well, I thought it was right here. I do have a couple little ribbons that they've gotten so far.
Mhm.
They didn't come with any points, but I guess it's what you would call a participation trophy. Yeah. Yeah, I refuse to shave their whiskers. It's just more of about making them look groomed and kind of crisp and cleaning their ears. And
You
she's
know
a
what?
cutie pie.
I have to wrestle her to do the ear med. Look, Luna, you want ear medicine? Ear medicine?
No.
You want some ear medicine? You trying to look cute. You don't do this when it's just you and me.
You know, I saw this thing about groomers on one of the YouTube channels. You know how
Mhm.
dogs resist wanting their nails or their feet messed with? Even
Uh-huh.
though it's not hurting them, they're just, some of them can be funny
Squirming.
about their feet. They had them like in a
Suspended.
harness. Yes. And they weren't, but about this far off of the table, but it was just enough to where that's very comfortable on their back to like, it's almost like a chiropractic kind of thing that it releases the pressure on their back. So it
Mhm.
feels good. And then they're sort of somewhat powerless to fight you with trying to get their nails clipped.
I should try that. Look, Luna, you want to get your nails clipped? I'm gonna have to suspend you like this. Look, she's not doing nothing. Wow, look, she's not. Wow. Maybe I need to put you on a suspender. Like,
I had this harness and it really, they love it. It takes pressure off their back, but you carry them on your front.
Mhm.
So it's this jacket looking thing with Velcro on either side. You put their feet in, and the Velcro snaps up over their back, and it has straps, and you can carry it on you. So you're like carrying them, and their feet are dangling. It's real
Like a
comfortable for
purse?
them.
Like
Yeah,
like
yeah. So like all that pressure is off of their back.
oh, you gotta send me a link to that. I'm curious.
I wanted to I don't want to turn my back on you guys, but I'm really curious here. It's not here, but I thought about making them because I did read that, it was really comfortable for them. And I've noticed when I've put one of mine in it, they like kind of nap. Like they really, especially when they were little puppies and I wanted to like walk around a farmer's market or something. Um, they don't get tired, so they're just hanging out with you, but they're not getting worn out.
I don't know, but she wears me out. But she's a puppy. She's still
Oh
puppy.
my goodness. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of puppy dogs, mine are probably anxious to get a little stretch here. It's becoming the bewitching hour, folks. But, think it's April 4th or 5th. We have a full moon. And I'm going to work on the North Node information. Maybe that's what we can do, like we did with the other notes that you put up, where we'll do each sign, and if their North Node is in that sign. Yeah, so Wednesday the 5th, full moon in Libra. Oh, you know what else today is before we go is International Astrology Day.
It is. Well, hello.
Yeah, yeah, spring equinox. Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's a little fun fact.
it is. It is.
So, are
So
you doing
just,
anything special for?
I'm here with you guys. This is special. Yeah. And I always enjoy the time and attention and hope that it's been insightful and helpful.
Thank you always for, doing this for the collective. I enjoy you being on this channel
I enjoy
every
being here.
new moon and full moon, and yeah, it's always a pleasure and a blessing to have you on here. It really is, and you offer a wealth of information always,
Uh,
and yeah, I really hope everyone else um, really enjoys it too.
I do
And
too. And if I can be of any help to anyone with their chart, if you'll go to lionmountainhealing.com, I would be happy to help you with that. And so,
yeah.
yeah. And thank you for helping me with my computer glitch yesterday. Boy, that was freaky. It was really freaky.
You're okay. I actually had so last week, I don't know if people recognize that my videos were kind of a little off. I already had 4 videos that I pre-recorded and none of them had audio. So I went live last week. I think I did 3 out of the 4. I just it takes a lot of energy in me and I had to redo 4 of them. And
Oh
so
my gosh.
yeah, and so I did 3 of them yesterday, but that was the delay. But I think it was okay because the energy from last week up until now, it was rough. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
And
exhausting.
yeah, and it wasn't a very lovey-dovey, energy also. But I do see that there is light at the end of the tunnel,
Yeah.
and for the collective twin flames, there's another wave where you will be hearing from your person. So that's good news.
You have a memory, ironclad memory, Chewbacca. I'd forgotten about the mystery printing. It hasn't happened again.
Yeah.
I did have gremlins in my computer this weekend, though. It's so frustrating. I
Hmm.
resist all those updates because every time they update stuff, I have to relearn what I want to do. And then I think sometimes if you don't update, then things don't work as well. And
No, I had to do that too. Yeah, I get it.
well, look,
So
y'all enjoy. It's Monday, it's spring, and a very energetic week. And just hold on for the ride. It's going to get fun.
yeah, okay. So thank you again, Sunny, for being
Thank
here
you,
with us.
Scorpio Moon. Thank you all for coming, and we'll have more good stuff in a couple of weeks. How about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
All righty. Signing off. Bye now.
Bye bye.
Bye.